Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Creative Chaos. I took advantage of Amazon Prime Day and picked up my very first set of alcohol markers. Ohuhu alcohol markers to be precise. So it came with this plastic sheet that you can put behind a coloring page, but it's really not big enough to put behind an actual coloring page. And then it had this manual that talked about the different sets that you can get and had some. I was surprised it didn't come with a. Oh, what is it you call it? Yeah, these lists. It came with a list of what the colors are supposed to look like, and so I didn't have to do the testing of the markers on my own, but which I probably should have done anyways, just because um, they really didn't look like their lids. Holy cow! I also picked up my first Kokowayu coloring book. And I was looking for a page. I picked this one that would just allow me some freedom. It looked fairly simple. I had to go get a page to put back behind it because I happen to know that these really are juicy markers, meaning that they are filled with a lot of color and that they would bleed through the paper. It's Amazon printed paper, and so it really does bleed through. So I picked out this pretty blue to start with the sky, and I was just going to do lines through it, but then I thought this is going to take me forever. So I decided to try doing the little circles, and so this is when I start the little circles. And that was my first mistake. Laurie made a lot of mistakes through this, but seeing as how it's my very first time with alcohol markers, it's kind of not surprising. And so the reason that it was a mistake is it just ended up, you could see the difference between the lines and the circles. And so if I had just stuck with one idea from the beginning, I think it would have been better. But that's okay because this is a learning channel. We are learning together. So if you're going to pick up your own set of alcohol markers, pick a way of using it. So either go with circles or go with lines and then stick with it. And I think it'll look a lot better. Not that it looked horrible, it really didn't. And I probably could have gone back through and addressed the problem and gotten some. I could have fixed it up, but I didn't, and that's okay. So we're just going to finish up the sky here. I really like this book. It really is a cute little. The Kokowayu books are really simple. They almost look like kids' coloring books, but that's the magic behind them because they are very chill. They're not intricate. They don't overwhelm you, and they are really just made to be relaxing. Um, Now, I wish I had had a white gel pen through this, but I didn't, and that's okay. So I didn't do any highlights, but I did try low lights, shadows. I did try that. That first marker I did on the grass there was definitely too dark. So I went back in with a lighter shade, and it still looks too dark here, but it really is quite beautiful in person. Now, I know how to talk. Alcohol markers go on very dark and then they lighten up as you use them. You can kind of see in the sky how it's patchy here and there. Very juicy when you first start using them, but obviously, if you're going over a wide expanse of paper, they are going to kind of lighten up and get a little bit patchy. And so that's something that I didn't realize as I was using them. So we'll get done with the grass here. And the grass really does lighten up. I go in, they didn't have anything behind the spokes, and so I just kind of made a decision as to what to put behind there. I'm trying to fix the lines I can see here, and really didn't work. It just kind of made it worse, but we're trying. It's our first time. So I pick a lighter green for the bushes. which I quite liked. The bushes were fairly plain, so I will actually go back in and add a little bit of detail to them. Not much, just a couple of little wavy lines, but it really does make a difference. Now, I've heard that when doing shadows, you can use the same once it's dried, you can use the same marker and go back in and it will add a layer of it, kind of darkens. And so we're going to try that and see if it actually does work for me. It may be a lot of this, I guarantee you, is going to be user error. And so we'll see if it works for me. I love this pretty yellow for the sun. It was fun trying to just go through and, oh my goodness, just try to pick out a different color for each of the components. I picked out this gorgeous berry color and like a dark red for the scarf. And then I pair it. Oh yeah, got to get the boot too. It was just so pretty, I had to keep using it. And then I pair it with the dark blue to finish out the scarf. The colors really are far more vibrant than they're showing up here on the computer. So I hope that on your computer you can really see just how gorgeous they are. Now here's where I make mistake number 2, and I draw right over the beak of the bird. So it literally is a blue bird all the way through, and I noticed it the moment I did it, and I thought, oh no, you've got to be kidding me. So I got out the colorless blender. This is supposed to help take color out and lighten it up in the area. So I'm giving that a try to see if it works. And it does. You can already see that the beak is lightening up. It didn't work quite as much as I had hoped. It didn't take all the color out. I didn't really expect it to. So that bird's beak is a little bit on the green side rather than the yellow side by the time it's all the way done. Got to get the tires and the pedal. Here we're adding a little bit more. Now I did notice that what the colorless blender does, it pushes the color away. So the beak ends up having a little bit of a blue halo around it, which is interesting to look at. But, you know, what do you do? You know, again, I'm learning about this. So I was trying to pick, I had 2 different browns to pick from. One was this lighter brown that I decided to use on the dog, and then the basket and the bread I use a darker brown, and I wish I had used the lighter brown on the bread and then maybe tried combining it with a different color just to make it a different shade of brown, but I didn't, and so the bread looks burnt. It just looks like I burnt it, but I'm still going to give it away to somebody. And so that's why the little duck in the back is trying to feed it to the birds. Because he's like, maybe the birds will like the burnt bread. Or it could be pumpernickel. And the duck doesn't like pumpernickel, so he's trying to share it with the birds. You never know. So you guys decide. Is it burnt? Is it pumpernickel? Totally up to you. Next I took out a little salmon color to color this little basket or a box. I couldn't decide what it was. And then a little pink for the heart, because you gotta have a pink heart, right? It looks more red in here than it does pink, but it is. There we go. Now we come in with some golden yellow for the beaks and the bird and the foot of the duck. And then I found this, it's called Banana Cream for the duck. And oh my goodness, I just fell in love with that color. Now I picked this soft gray for the kitten, and I loved it so much I decided to use it on the other bird. It took me a second, but then I decided, hey, let's get it. Because it was such a pretty gray. And next it was time for the bike. So for the bike, I picked out this lavender color. Oh, yep, it is time. And it ended up looking a lot more pink than lavender. But I stuck with it anyways. Lavender is my youngest favorite color, and it's her birthday today. So happy birthday to her. And um, so I decided to just stick with it and color in a lavender bike. And then the last thing to color in are the flowers. So I just picked a pretty red and went with that. Of course, all the colors, honestly, that I used are gorgeous. And this is where I decide to go in and try some shading. So the first thing I do is the clouds. So you can't really tell, but maybe when I do my little close-up, you might be able to see it. But I just do some shading along the bottom with a really light gray. And then I'm basically going to try what I was talking about before, where you go in with the same color that you used before and I tried to add blades of grass. You can't really tell that I do until oh, my brain just went blank, until I do at the end where I show you a little close up. I tried the colorless blender on it as well, just to see if it would do some lighter shades, since I did such a dark shade on there, but it didn't really work. It was a good try, but it didn't really work. So now I'm just shading the bike. I did my little squiggles on the bushes. And now I wish I had just gone in with a fine liner and did some petals. I tried doing petals on there, but it didn't really work out. So it's okay. Like we said, this is Laurie's first time. Anyways, this is basically the finished page. And so you can really see the color shading in on the bird there. But I hope that you liked it. I like the alcohol markers. Definitely not something I would give to just a little kid to color with, because they are really good markers. They are really, really good markers. And so I definitely keep those for the adults. And then just added some little squiggles here to kind of indicate fur on our little puppy, our little doggy. So I hope that you all enjoyed watching this happen. Next time, like I said, I'd like to get a white gel pen and try doing highlights. I think highlights really bring a page to life and scares the living daylights out of me to try it. But anyways, here we go. Here's a close-up. And I hope that you guys had a good time. I know I did. And so I just want to thank you all for coming, and have a great day. Make it a great week, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.